Hi everyone, welcome back to the Varcode tutorials. So in this video we are going to start with the project, right? So first of all, what you need to do, I'm hoping that your system has VS Code, right? If your system don't has VS Code, then what you need to do is you need to open a new browser, as you can see on my screen, and you need to search for VS Code, right? When you search for VS Code, you will see this first link here. So you need to click on this first link and you can go for download option here, and when you click on the download you need to select your machine. If you are using MacBook, you need to go and select this MacBook option. If you are using Windows, you need to click here. If you are using Linux, you can download from these two options, right? After downloading Linux, what you need to check is now you can go inside your VS Code again after installing the VS Code, or you can just open the VS Code. And now what you need to do is now you need to create a new folder anywhere inside your system, and you need to open that new folder inside your VS Code. Now how to open a folder inside the VS Code? So if you are using Windows, when you right click on the folder and go on the show more option in the menu, you will see that open this folder with the VS Code, right? If you are not seeing that option, then what you can do, you can see on the top of your VS Code that here you can see this file option, right? If you click on the file option, you need to go on this open folder option. Now when you click on this open folder option, this will open a dictionary for you. Here I have created this new folder with the name of CRUD. So you are going to select this new folder and you are going to click on the open option. Now your folder is, you can see this CRUD is written here, right? So that means your folder is now open inside the VS Code. Now what you need to do is you need to open your terminal inside the VS Code. See, we have a terminal inside our Windows, but we need a terminal inside the VS Code. So VS Code has provided a terminal inside its own environment to install on the all the npm libraries, right? So what you need to do, if you know what backtick is, then you can go and if you are using MacBook, then you can click on the control and backtick option. Backtick is present below your escape key. Either you can press control and backtick option, or either you can see at the top where we have selected the folder from the file, right? You don't have to click on file, you need to go on this terminal option. When you go on the terminal option and when you click here, you will see new terminal, right? So you will see new terminal. Now what you need to do is you need to click on this new terminal. So you can see that one terminal will be opened inside your VS Code. So let me just zoom in my screen, then you can see it more clearly. Okay, so now here we need to check for two things. If your system have these things, then we are good to go. Otherwise you have to install these things, right? So first of all, you need to check if your system has Node.js or not. So you can write node space -v inside your terminal and press enter. So if it is showing this version 21.6.2, that means your system has Node.js. And after checking the Node.js version, you need to check for one more thing, which is npm space -v, right? So if you click here npm space v, then it needs to show a npm version inside your system. Now if you are not having the node inside your system, then you have to install the Node.js version. I will give you the link to install everything inside the description. But here you can see you need to search for Node.js download. When you search for the Node.js download, you will see this first link. You need to click on the first link, and here you will see the download option, right? So you can go for download, and when you click on the download, or here it will automatically detect your system configuration. If you are using Windows, you will get into 64 or into 32-bit file, or if you are using Mac OS, then you can see that I'm using the Mac right now, so it is suggesting me to download the Mac version, right? And if you want to change anything, you can change from here, right? If you want to download this Windows, so you can download the Windows also. Or don't write download here. If you want to download it easily, just don't write download. You can write only Node.js. When you write only Node.js inside the Google, then you need to go on this first link, which is Node.js run JavaScript everywhere. You need to click here, When you click here, then you will see this link, download.node.js. When you click here, the software will be automatically start downloading. Don't have to do anything. And while installing the software, you don't have to change any option, right? You can just press on next, 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 and then complete the installation, right? Okay, so now moving on to our project. And right, moving on to the project. So here, first of all, after checking both of these things, now after installing the Node.js, if you write node space hyphen v here, it is again going to give you an error. What you need to do is you need to close your VS Code and you need to open that VS Code again, right? Okay, so after doing everything, what you need to do is now we are going to install some libraries inside our folder so that we can use these library or dependencies from the npm. Now what is npm? Npm is a node package manager. So for example, if you want to use any library or any npm module, you can say what npm module is. You have all the code written inside the npm module, you just have to install it from the node package manager library, and you can import that library inside your project files, and then you can use the code, right? I will show you how this npm library look like. So again, if you go on your browser and you need to search for npm, not this, just npm. When you search for npm, you will see this first option, npm home. So when you click here, you will see this npm library. This library contain millions of packages. So whatever the need of yours, whatever the package you want to install, you can install from here, right? So there is one term of installing the package. You need to write a command npm install and the package name, right? Okay, so now first of all we are going to install, we are going to run a command npm init dash y, right? Now if you run this command npm init space hyphen y, you will see one package.json file. Now what this package.json file, this package.json file contain all the information related to the dependency whatever you are installing, right? Now after this package.json file, and also you will see the description name. You can change this name also, you can change the description also, whatever you want you can do, but don't change anything else from this part. You can see the name and description, right? Do just change these two if you want, although I suggest don't make any changes inside the files. Now inside the CRUD application, you need to install some libraries from the npm. So as I said before that you need some libraries, right? So first of all, you can directly install all the libraries that we are going to use inside the project. I will explain you whenever we use the libraries. So for now you can write the command npm install bcrypt cookie parser course .env express json web token mongoose and nodemon. You need to check your spellings before writing here. So if you enter any wrong spelling, then some else library will get installed and you will get an error, right? So after writing this npm install bcrypt cookie parcel course.env express json web token mongoose and nodemon, you can click on enter. After entering, you will see this process will get started, and you will see the node module folder. Right now I will show you that inside the package.json you will see these dependencies, right? We have installed some npm library inside our project. So all the npm library which we install inside the project, they will be visible inside your package.json file, but these are only the names. Now where are the codes? So you can see the node modules folder. If you open this folder and I want the bcrypt.js, right? So what I can do, I can open the folder and I need to search for bcrypt. So you can go here and it will be bcrypt, right? So bcrypt, here you can see the folder, right? So here you can see the bcrypt folder. So if you open this folder, you will find all the code which is related to the bcrypt, how the bcrypt.js library works, right? What are the function it is calling to hash any password. Basically we are going to use the bcrypt library to hash the password. I will explain you when we use this library. So we don't have to change anything or delete anything from the node module folder. If you delete anything inside the node module folder, then your app will get crash, right? Your server will not work. Okay, now what you need to do, you need to create a new file inside your main root folder. This is the root directory where all these three files are present. This folder and all these two files are present. So this is the root directory, right? So for selecting the root directory, what you can do, you can simply touch on the blank space here, and you will see this green box, right? So now our main directory is selected. So here you need to create one new file with the name of index.js, right? Inside here you need to write index.js. After this, this will be our main file, right? Inside this file we are going to write all the APIs. We are going to create our MongoDB server. We are going to create our Node.js server. So first of all, we need Express.js framework, right? So for importing inside the Node.js, you need to write like this. Whenever you are writing the code for the Node.js, you need to import any library like this. For example, concept express equal to require express, right? So after importing the Express framework, now as you can see that I have imported the Express framework. You need some more libraries to import here. You can write const.env. I will tell you what these library will do. Just wait for me to import these libraries. Require .env. If you are not getting suggestion like this, so what you can do, you can go inside the extension, and you need to install one extension which is JavaScript ES6 extension, I guess this one. This extension you need to install inside the VS Code, so it will auto complete your lines, right? Or when you write a little bit code, it will auto complete it. Now here you need to import one more thing, which is const mongoose equal to require mongoose, right? So we have imported three libraries here. One more library you need to install here, which is npm install globally nodemon. So what this nodemon will do, I will explain you here only. Whenever we do any change inside our backend file, we need to restart the server manually, right? So inside the terminal you will see the server, inside the terminal you will see the server is running, right? So if I change something inside my index.js or any other file, any other backend file, I need to restart my server again. So what I will do, I don't want to do this again and again. So that's why I'm installing this nodemon library. Now this nodemon library will automatically detect is that I am changing something inside any of my files. So what it will do, it will automatically restart my server. I don't have to again terminate my server and restart the server again and again. I don't have to do this after installing this nodemon library. Now you can see this -g I'm using here. So what happens is, sometimes when you run a simple npm install nodemon, this nodemon will not work because of some restrictions, right? So that's why what we are doing right now, we are installing nodemon globally inside whole folder, right? So that's why when you install nodemon globally, you are going to use the -g. So G means globally, right? So we are installing nodemon globally. So I hope you understand what nodemon will do. Now here, first of all, you need to config the .env file. Okay, so what .env file is, for example, if I want to hide something from the users, right? So if I go on the MongoDB Atlas and if I create database, right? So what I want to do is I want to hide the credential of that database from other user. Only I want to see that credential, right? So what I will do, I'll copy the credentials and I'll paste it inside the .env file. So what happens is, we are going to store that credential in a variable and we are going to import the variable inside our index.js file, right? So that's how a user can see only the variable. User cannot see the credentials. So that's how this .env file works. So for using the .env file inside this index.js file, you need to do .env .config. You can write the code with me. Okay, after doing this, now you need to create an instance of this Express.js framework. See, whenever I'm calling any function from the Express.js framework, I don't want to call the Express.js again and again and again, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm creating a variable here, and that variable will be the instance of the Express.js framework. I'm already running all the functions which are present inside the Express.js. I'm storing all the function inside my variable with the name of app. So whenever I want to use a function from the Express.js framework, I can call the app variable and I can use that function from that, right? Now what you can do, now you can just create a variable with the name of const app equal to express, and you can you can call the express function here. Okay, so now we are going to create a server. So what you need to do to create a server is you need to write app dot. When you do app dot, you will see all the function which are present inside the express.js, right? So for creating the server, we need app dot listen function. So you need to click on listen, and inside the listen we are going to pass two things. So first of all, what you can do, you can again click on this root directory, this blank space here, and you need to go on this icon, this new file icon. When you go here, you need to create one .env file. Inside the .env file, we are going to store the port number on which we are going to run the port. So it is important for you to understand that whenever you create a variable in the .env file, the variable will be capital letters only. You don't have to write, you cannot write the variable in small letters, right? Now, one more thing you have to remember, that whenever we are doing any changes in the inside the .env file, either you are using a nodemon also, the nodemon will not detect any changes which happens in the .env file, right? So if you are changing anything in the .env file, you need to restart the server, right? Manually you need to restart the server. So just control S to save the file. If you are using Windows, whenever you are doing any changes in any of the file, you need to save the file to see the changes, right? So suppose I am doing the changes in .env file. So what I will do, I will just control S to save the changes. Now, if you go in the index.js file, we have already configured our .env file, right? It means we can use everything which is present inside the .env file. See, that's what I was telling you, that I have created the variable and I have stored the port number. I don't want to show the user what is my port number on which the server is running, right? I only want to show user this variable. So I have stored the port number inside this variable. Now you can go inside the index.js file. Here you need to import the port variable from there inside this index.js. So you can create one variable with the help of const name or port. Whenever you are calling any variable from the .env file, you will have to use these two keywords, process.env dot name of the variable. So we have the name with the port, right? Now inside the app.listen, you need to pass this port, sorry, not this port, this smaller port, right? After this, you are going to pass a callback function. Now what this callback function is, for example, if I try to run my server on this port, right? Suppose this port number is 4001. So my server will try to run on the port number 4001. If somehow my server gets failed to run on this port, then we are going to store the error, or if my server runs successfully on this port, we are going to console log something, right? So you can write console.log. Inside this you can use backticks, right? Inside this you can use the backticks. So you can write server is running on port, and you can make this string dynamic by dollar and curly braces. Inside the dollar and curly braces you can use this port, right? Okay, so now we have created a port and now we have created a Node.js server. Now you have to start the Node.js server. How you can start the Node.js server? So for making it easier and to use the nodemon, okay, I have forgot to install the npm install global nodemon, right? You need to press enter here. Inside the terminal, we have written one command, right? You need to press enter to install this nodemon inside your system. So now to make things simpler, we need to go inside the package.json file. And when you go inside the package.json file, you will see this tag with the name of script, right? Currently, this is the test script. now we are using the nodemon, right? So you are going to give it a start script to start your server. So you need to write nodemon index.js. We need to write nodemon index.js. Now you need to write this keyword here, because whenever our server is started, it will start with the help of nodemon, and our server is present inside the index.js file. That's why we are writing these two keywords inside the start script, right? Okay, so now we are done with this. Now what you can do, you can come here inside your terminal to start the server. So you can write npm start. You can write npm start and click enter. You will see something like this. So currently we are getting an error because this address is already in use. So whenever you see this error that address is already in use, it means some other application is taking this port. So let me check. So I have two terminals here, right? So if I go and check on the first one, uh, there is no application running on. So let me just, okay, so now what you can do, you can for restarting the server, you only have to save the file again. So let me save the file again, then we'll check. So see, now our server is running on port number 4001. I hope you are not getting this error, because in my system there is some other application was running on port number 4001. That's why I was getting that error. So now we are not getting any error, and we have set up our server successfully. Now after this we are going to continue in the next video. So that's it for this video. Thank you and take care.